Cotuit taking on YD tonight. Colton Hock gets the start. He's joined by me now. And Colton, we're taping this yesterday, so I guess it's kind of in the future, but it was clinic day today here. What was it like just hanging out with the kids, showing them the slip and slide? I think it was teaching the proper fundamentals, how to slide and all that,
Sure.
but it must have been a thrill just to give back to them.
Yeah, that really is the case. We got the pitching staff here today working with the kids this week, and there's about 40 kids. And I'll tell you what, I've worked some other camps, and in some cases it's been babysitting, but I'll tell you what, we had a lot of fun with it this week. All the kids are great. They love to learn. The coaching staff, my teammates, they're really giving it all back to the kids, and I think they really just enjoy being around and having us just pretty much acting like their age and just having fun playing wiffle ball games, playing pickle. Today we were on the slip and slide. We had Justin Hooper and Ross Octor out there sliding with them. They love that, throwing them up and down the tarp. It was just a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. We have 5 more camps coming up, and we all plan on being on every one. You don't hear that too often, so.
Does it kind of take you back to when you were a kid and you looked up to players as well? Maybe if you've had social interactions with them, or what's it like now being on the other side, not being that little kid looking up, but actually, showing the younger generation that you've actually arrived and you're on your way as well?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I always look back when I'm their age, and when you're their age, the world's in front of you, and these guys are. Back home, I kind of grew up in a small town, a small college, and even there, I thought the guys that were running the camp were, the best out there. I knew there was the MLBers, but I thought those guys were just something I always wanted to be. So you always look up to them as your heroes and as your role models, and all you know about them is that they play baseball. So if we can show them that we're good baseball players, and we can also show them that they're good people and how to play the game the right way. Today, Coach Roberts talked about leadership. They ate that right up. Everyone's trying to run for the balls and be a leader is great. And if that's what they can come out here learning, then I think they're on the right track to be beyond a college baseball program, kind of like we are. So just trying to instill that in them.
You're from Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, and obviously a pitcher at Stanford, but you weren't too shabby at the plate either in high school. Batted north of 500. Was there any part of you that flirted with being a two-way player?
Not at all. The funny thing is about those stats, so I think I might have led the state of Pennsylvania that year in batting average. I was definitely 1 or 2. And the funny thing about it is I had good speed my senior year. I worked really hard to speed, becoming faster. I think that senior year I had 12, I call them swans, swinging bunts, infield singles, and I beat them all out. I hit 4, didn't have a home run, but I think my average is way up there. And same thing with our team. We ended up doing pretty well this year, but no, there wasn't a chance I was picking up a bat in college.
You were in the pen this year, obviously had a few saves, you had 6 saves to be exact. I know there's a different adrenaline going in pitching in the 9th inning, especially even on the road or at home, or just knowing you've got to get those 3 outs. What's the adrenaline change and now trying to be a starter here this summer?
It's hard. That's a great way to put it. It's something that me and Matt Kinney had talked about down the pen yesterday. He's our bullpen coach. When you're coming out with runners on and the game's on the line, you don't have room for error. You don't have room for error. If they get a hit or they get run across, game's probably over. That's the way all the situation I was put in this year out of school, pretty much. And the difference when you're starting is that you can take the game, you can approach the game, you're controlling the game at that point. It's all right to give up a hit or a walk or whatnot. Not a lot of them obviously, but when you're starting, I guess you can have that bad inning. You can have time to come back. Whereas when you're in the 8th and 9th inning, your comeback, it better be a short comeback, because if it's not, they're getting a hit and they're putting the winning run across the plate. So it's one thing that I haven't done in a while. Last year I pitched in the summer. I decided to just get in there, take a deep breath, and try to get 4 or 5 innings and give our bullpen a chance. Something we haven't really done too much. So that's the plan going into tomorrow. And if we execute it, then I think we can get a win.
With that said, let's take it back to this year too. For at least, I don't know, maybe a zillion years, Texas and Rice have always been looked as powerhouses in the NCAA. You pitched well against them this year, 5 2/3, had 8 strikeouts. Of course, I would like to ask what was working for you that day, but as the game progresses, how do you decompartmentalize and try to keep it within the lines and not really get too overhyped, knowing that you're going against Texas, and just do what you're doing?
Sure. I think every team's the same. I think every league's the same. Even the Cape Cod League up here, where we got the best hitters in the nation, best pitchers in the nation. If you get ahead with the fastball, keep the ball low. At this level in college, they can't hit it, and it gives you a chance to throw your off-speed pitch, your breaking ball. And that's what I did against Texas. That's kind of my game plan all year. When I go out there in the mound tomorrow, it's going to be the same plan. Just get ahead with the fastball, shoot low strikes. Very rarely will you have a guy put a good piece on a low fastball. If it's 85 or if it's 95, it doesn't really matter. And getting ahead, then we have a chance to work with our off-speed. Coach Roberts loves the changeup. I'm going to really try to work that in tomorrow. And obviously my go-to as a reliever has always been my curveball, and it's kind of my out pitch. So I plan to use that when I'm up in the count, maybe to start the batters off if I'm feeling it tomorrow, which I think I will be. So hopefully,
All right.
And that's the plan.
All right, that's Colton Hock. Starting lineups coming up right after this.